Welcome to the General's Gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to Company of Heroes 2.
We are your hosts for today, the General's Gentlemen. My name is Archon Hawk.
And my name is The Machine, and today we are casting Talisman as the Soviets.
His opponent will be Fredbrik as the OKW. Not to get confused with Fredbrik. This is Fredbrik.
Yeah, I know. We've casted him before.
Yeah.
This isn't the first time his name has triggered us. But won't be the last, I'm sure. We'll see. Talisman actually insta-locked his Lend-Lease, and that's going to be the new meta, because the other methods of playing, the Maxims are weaker, the Guards are a bit weaker, but the Maxim, or rather the Dushka, which was a Maxim on crack, wasn't changed. So the Dushka is incredibly potent. Probably the main weakness with the Dushka compared to the Maxim is that 2 command points, and that's actually a pretty big deal.
Fredbrik going to be opening up with the Strum Pioneers wiring off the middle garrison. Not at all surprising. The house was strong beforehand, and as Machine's already iterated with the Dushkas being involved at 2 CPs, it's even more important to keep control over that house and the garrisons in general on Paymanville.
Yeah, I love that. That's really good foresight, because that house, it only has a couple of windows, so it's not that hard to flush out. But if you're able to get a HMG in there, especially something as potent as a Dushka, it can be very hard to dislodge, for OKW in particular. But it will be the conscript opener here from Talisman. Doesn't really have any choice. You're going to have to go 4 or 5 conscripts into the Dushkas.
Not really much option with them on 2 command points. A little bit harder to get there. Have we been seeing players, I don't know how many replays you've seen, have we seen players go for a tier building to speed up that CP process to get to the Dushkas earlier and then just not get anything from it? Like go tier 2 so you can go to AT guns at some point, or anything else?
Yeah,
have we seen
probably
that?
not. I don't know. But I haven't been watching replays either. I'm so out of the loop, honestly. I haven't played Coh2 in so long. We don't even cast it often anymore. Like, I didn't even know the GCS patch was out. Yeah. I was watching a stream. I think you were there. I think it was at Mark's house, and it was like there was Comet that was just like really OP and was really cheesy. No, it was with the Yag Tiger. Was it here?
I was watching. I forget where it was, but yeah, I do remember it. So
and I was like, man, I can't wait until the Comet gets nerfed, and then like that patch was already out, and that was already post nerf.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm out of the loop here, but you could go tier 1 for penals and stuff. Yeah. If you wanted to, and then go the Dushka.
Probably not a bad idea. I mean, it's a strategy I've gone for before, heading towards guards and heavy mortars, especially on kind of a... Oh, nice merge! Pro merges! Love it. A strategy that I have gone for, just because it's nice to have those guards or heavy mortars, or in this case the Dushkas out a little bit earlier, and the CPs that you get from the tier building aren't a lot, but they do matter when you're just moving from 0 to 2 CPs. I love some pro merges. Don't you love pro merges?
I love pro merges. So that's probably seemed weird because it was negative cover, but he was very spaced out, so the flamer wasn't too effective there. Nice work backing him off, and I suppose it was a bit of a mistake there from Talisman to try and engage without his conscript nearby for the merge. And then splitting them up, he couldn't both cap and fight the Volks at the same time.
Coh2 starting to take a bit of damage, has been very active in terms of its capturing. Much of the units from Fredbrik have been looking for engagements. Coh2 capped out the majority of the south, now moving up to the north. Cutoffs are being taken, so overall the income for Talisman has been poor throughout this game so far.
Yep, got his medics as well. Very low squads, and 5 is kind of that turning point where 5 conscripts is a real commitment. 4 is manageable. 5 is just a lot of manpower bleed, and that's going to delay that Dushka. So he's just kind of... Yeah, there we go. Look, the tier 2 barracks now gets the CP for it. And I don't expect him to actually use this building. So yeah, good call, man. Good prediction.
Man. Appreciate it. I'm not entirely out of the loop, just mostly out of the loop for Company of Heroes 2. So Can still pick the odd thing. Flame is also excellent for flushing the Volks Grenadiers out from behind the sandbags, and we see a lot of those from Fredbrik. Makes even more sense. The Flamer is the unit of choice from Talisman. Should have a nice amount of manpower to go for this first Dushka as well. Going to be quite close, and man, medical crates that don't cost 10,000. Is that a Vet Zero Strum Pioneer squad? Wow, cool, wow.
And so even though he has that battle group, you still need to actually research the medics. So even if you are going battle group, it doesn't mean that you won't get any value out of those medical crates. And what it will allow is Fredbrik to go straight for that flak half track. And that's going to be pretty powerful here, just because they do have the AP ammo, but unless they're already set up in position behind cover in a house, they won't be able to stick around for too long.
We are losing supplies to the enemy.
Nice Zindi coming out here. Cons are going to be forced out of cover. So engagement overall going to be going in the favor of these conscripts. STG pop going to be nice.
That's not what you want.
Yeah.
But should be able to force him off here with the other squad of conscripts.
There's a retreat coming through. Where do we see this hard track going is going to be the question. At the moment, Talisman gone for the safe Dushka placement. He's gone straight into a garrison, already has control over the north sector, wants to maintain control over the fuel point. He's had relatively low fuel income throughout this game. Important that he starts a bit more of that coming in, so it's a nice initial placement.
Has a squad of Panzer Fusiliers, so he's locked in the breakthrough doctrine and actually taking some shots from the Dushka. He popped the AP ammo, so he must have heard it through the fog of war.
So Fredbrik going to drive straight out of there and force the retreat from these combat engineers. Oh, nice. Mine's not going to blow up from the flak.
Our territory is falling into enemy hands.
So this flak half track, very powerful if you can hold the cutoff, but this mine is in a beautiful spot. That's going to tag either the Kubel or the flak half track if they go straight for that cap. Let's see if the Volks go for it. That'll detonate the mine.
Certainly a common pathing position as well. If you're looking to hold cutoff in general, quite nice. Or even looking to cap with the squad, we're going to see a couple of model drops here. Oh!
Wow.
Man, Fredbrik with the mad plays. He's juking the mine. He just broke the mine's ankles, bro. The mine's ankles just got broken. That was insane.
Yeah, he must have seen the conscripts and decided not to go for the cap. Stone Pioneers should be revealing this one. Wow, yeah, very close.
Big plays.
Oh, retreating through this.
I think it's going to get cleared. Oh, Black After actually moves. I'm not sure if he was targeting the cons. Obviously lost, I don't know, maybe lost tracking or something there. I'm not sure what it was. All right.
This gun on the field, so the flak half track can't hold this position for too long.
Even with the insane repair speed of Strum Pioneers, they unfortunately can't repair through Zish shots, which is probably a good thing. So this is going to be setting up. I'll probably get one shot off before half track gets out of there, but it's going to miss, just an attack round.
It had the smoke as well, so it's really hard to actually kill that flak half track with an AT gun.
Hopefully we see Talisman busy with the Zis gun. There are a lot of annoying sandbag placements right on the points here for Fredbrik, and that's going to be more and more important the later this game goes. It'll turn engagements. You're going to have Volks Grenadiers sitting behind sandbags all of the time on every point. And conscripts trying to run into them or just trying to fire at them when they're behind heavy cover, which obviously makes it harder to displace those squads. If this is busy, he'll take out all of these sandbags as he pushes up and gains some territory.
Oh, the engineers. He gets out there. I like how we have AT grenades for these conscripts. Can't rely on just that lone Zis gun. I think, yeah, he also then was able to AT grenade that Kubel.
Yeah.
Pretty good use from the Kubel so far. Fredbrik's kept it alive for some time, and it's given him pretty good map control as a result.
Wow. Okay. Gonna blow the barrage there. It'll destroy the heavy cover, so that's probably the goal, I suppose. Yeah, it takes out the heavy cover. Fairly advantageous for the northern player in this position. You can kind of duel with the with the wall, the entirety of the wall, by using that car as heavy cover. Not so great against the Dushkas. Obviously, it's not going to provide perfect heavy cover, but it's really nice against the infantry. Gives them a good position to hold that central victory point. So taking it out isn't a bad move. It's probably worth a munitions for Talisman here.
Yeah, that was a good play. I'm pretty sure he actually... Oh no. Okay, he pops the smoke here.
Nice, good juke.
Yeah,
well.
he went sideways, so that was good call there. But I'm pretty sure you can just attack click the cover. I don't think you have to blow the barrage. But he wanted to try and get the cheeky wipe on the Volks.
A bit more efficient as well. So, yeah, obviously forcing the Volks Grenadiers out. Got the retreat. Barrage is nice and quick compared to just the regular attacks. There's the nade from the Panzer Fusiliers. Going to try and engage that one. Does that actually drop the gunner? The second one didn't. We see the evac from Talisman.
So that seemed a little bit mistimed there. If he actually led with the incendiary and then tried to throw the grenade on the door as they evacuated, that could have been a lot more nasty. But it did force him off.
Especially when the nade from the Panzer Fusiliers wasn't in a position to drop the gunner, so the Volks were always going to be suppressed in that position. So. Still, the Dushka has been forced out of the garrison, courtesy of munitions drop. So, yeah.
I suppose he it was going to be hard to get the Volks in. He would have had to get the Panzer Fusiliers first, hoping that it was on auto rotate and not on an automatic.
Seen any G43s as yet. Fredbrik doesn't have munitions for them. 120 for the G43s.
It's only 90.
90? Damn. Get wrecked, Blake. So, good stuff.
Throwing a few grenades, and actually a lot of mines too. Unless they're Soviet mines. Yeah, I think they're mainly actually Soviet mines.
Double Dushka currently for Talisman. Hasn't dropped a squad as yet. So with the 4 initial cons, so cabin pressure certainly is there. The removal of the Kubel earlier in the game. Currently a fuel and munitions connected, double victory points for Talisman. Currently on 330 compared to the 500 of Fredbrik. So VPs are something he's going to have to start thinking about.
And it will be the infantry support gun as a means to try and counter that, the Dushkas. But still having this flak half-track around prevents him from just locking down that middle house. That, and actually so does the wire. He can attack that with his gun to blow it up. Because he can't go the sweeper because he went for the flamer engineers.
Yeah. Would be a bit of manpower to invest in an additional squad of combat engineers at this point in the game. Might want to go for something else. 3 CPs away from Shermans.
Yeah, no sign of the tier 3 yet. Actually using the fuel drops. Yeah. So one of the changes in the DCS patch was the cooldown was increased on the Sherman's deployment. Because I believe previously it was 30 seconds. So you could just bank up a lot of resources and then just spam Shermans. And we have seen players do that. But now it's like a minute 30 or something. I can't remember, but it's a lot longer. So it's harder to do that. It does kind of incentivize you to tech up, you know, at least tier 3. But Talisman's in no rush. He's doing pretty well for himself. And he's actually ahead in veterancy. And conscripts are not too bad early and mid game. It's just they just don't scale as well as. Oh, nasty! And that
was the right move. That was the right play.
Yeah, because he wired it off. So obviously he's gonna have to evac from the front. He's actually going for the recap here. Unless he gets some good shots off with his Fusiliers, he could probably gonna take this Dushka back.
There's the nade.
A little bit mistimed, but it will get the death loop. Even the Zisgun could go down.
Yeah, a bit of a late back off. And yeah, the Dushka's going to be dropped here. Panzer Fusiliers might go on the chase. Yeah, they're going to go for the Zisgun. No other squads nearby. It could be double support weapon drops. It's going to be. Nice. The Zisgun goes down here. I'm not sure if we can get a cap. Maybe we can. The combat engineers don't actually have a flamer. The conscripts don't have a Molotov. Dushka's here.
I was going to say he's covering his Zis cap with a Dushka, but no, he actually backed that Dushka off right away.
Whoa, was that another Panzer Fusilier grenade? What's the cooldown on those bad boys?
Don't know.
He used it to wipe the Dushka, and then he used it again on the combat engineers. Anyway.
They're not very good grenades though. They're kind of like the shock grenades.
Yeah, they're not. Yeah.
But despite that crazy push in the middle, we do see Talisman having full map control. But map control just doesn't matter for Lend-Lease. What you gonna do? He's already got 300 fuel banked up. Munitions. Yeah, he doesn't have a lot of munitions, but it's mainly because he's been the fuel drops. So, yeah, if he had the other engineer squad, but he actually lost it, he could have had some more mines and demos down. But, yeah, that's a big swing. If you look at the pop cap here, pretty big advantage for Fredbrik.
Just gotta be happy about that. I'm not sure how this truck took damage.
Yeah.
Maybe he took an AT grenade? I'm guessing he took an AT grenade.
Well, it doesn't have engine damage, so that doesn't really make sense.
Right, no, yeah.
Yeah, and they're very safe Panzer headquarters. Covers his fuel. So that's pretty good. Because the attack range is actually like this far.
There, yeah.
And without that Zis gun, this flak half track can go wherever it wants.
Pretty much has free reign until Talisman starts the Shermans, which is now. Now is the time. Hamstrung probably through manpower at this stage rather than the cooldown on the Shermans. Still has some reinforcing to do.
That's kind of the problem with the AP ammo, is he popped the AP ammo, but in the time it took him to reload, he went all the way through his arc, and he's insta-pinned. Yeah, but here's the Sherman.
This gun out of position currently, so the Panzer Fusiliers Pass really isn't going to do anything unless the Raketen shot comes through, which it does. No, was there a Pass? There it is. There's the Pass follow-up.
Wow, the flak half track goes down, but this Sherman is very deep, and he's caught in between the Zis and the Raketen. There's a bit of a tree in the way here.
Not sure if he can get a shot past here. He might be able to. Panzer headquarters as well. We're going to get some shots off. The Sherman is in the wrong position, and that's an excellent trade for Fredbrik.
Main gun's down, so he can't focus this wounded Raketen. The Fusiliers...
Surely this goes down.
Yeah, no way it survives that Raketen.
No.
Down she goes. Now, that's... it's one of those trades where you'd think it would be bad for Talisman, but he has a lot of fuel, so not really. But then again, Fredbrik also has a lot of fuel, and he almost has his Panzer headquarters. So I guess overall, it's not a good trade.
He's Panzer 4 or?
Oh yeah, Panzer 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, almost has one of those.
Do you think he'll lean towards Panzer 4 at this stage? Or Panther? I mean, what do you think he's thinking? He does have 2 AT guns, so Panzer 4 or?
Well, I think the Panther, just because Panzer 4s can die pretty quickly.
Right.
If you get two M4C Shermans, and you get a couple of good penetrations, that P4 goes down very quickly. But yeah, it could be. Doesn't really matter at this stage.
Talisman in a pretty bad position. Poor Dushka could be in a bit of trouble. That's going to sprint out of there.
Oh man,
That's still a thing, isn't it? That's still a thing.
Maxim doesn't have
still a
sprint,
thing.
but of course the Dushka does. Oh man, this wire is such a problem right now, because otherwise you could have just capped that garrison.
Yeah.
Oh man, I love that wire so much. That is actually the most effective wire in the universe.
Yeah. Saved, so paid dividends for Fredbrik several times over this game.
It's very cost effective,
Yeah.
considering it's free.
That'll be one Volksgrenadier squad going down in the north.
Wow.
Conscripts, 2 of them at least, will be able to wipe a Volksgrenadier squad on retreat fairly consistently.
And that is so important too, because Fredbrik was very far ahead in terms of his squad count. And I think he actually must have lost another squad of Volks, because we only have 1 Volk squad left. And of course that Fusilier squad, which hasn't quite reached the turbo death mode at Vet 5.
So that Sherman's going to show up. It's probably
Oh,
Dushka
wow.
White. And I was thinking it would take more than 1 shot. I was clearly mistaken.
It's actually
Done
destroyed.
destroyed as well, yeah.
Yeah, no recap there for Talisman. And it is the Panzer 4. Oh, well, he needs it now because he's behind in squads.
behind in squads. Yeah. The circumstances have changed.
I am
Sherman on the
altering the
field.
deal. Pray I do not alter it further.
Ready for action.
Is that the line?
I feel like I should understand this reference.
You don't know what it is!
Right.
But we had a deal! I have altered the deal. Pray that I don't alter it further. Come on, Blake, you're better than that. Damn it, Blake.
Is it a How I Met Your Mother
No,
reference?
Blake.
No, come on, wait. No, it's not, it can't be. Hang on.
mean, in your defense, I'm not doing a very good impersonation at all.
Right.
And I'm probably even saying the line wrong as well.
Right. I don't know, it's ringing bells, but I don't know why it's ringing bells. Man, people are yelling me in the comments right now. I can feel it through the space of time.
Well, they're
Through
either
time,
yelling
I
at
can-
you or they're yelling at me for quoting
Right.
it wrong.
Okay. Do it again. One more time.
But we had a deal. I am altering the deal. Pray I do not alter it further.
From Star Wars?
Yes!
Yeah, there we go. Okay, right, nice. Good.
Do you know where?
It was actually quite good. Not from something to do with Anakin, isn't it?
No,
Or-
no, episode 5 is Lando
Right.
Calrissian when they
Oh, yeah.
when
yeah,
they- when-
yeah,
when he
Lando
takes-
gives them up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
You
yeah,
came
your
through,
impression
Blake.
could have been
You
better.
always come- yeah,
I'll
I'm
be
sorry.
honest. Yeah, it could have
I
been
know.
better, but yeah.
Can you do a better Darth Vader impression?
Right. No.
Well, can you do a better Panzer IV engagement? I should have said Sherman engagement.
Yeah.
But yeah, lucky break there. The Talisman actually doesn't get the killing blow onto that Panzer IV. Gets a lucky main gun crit. I'm waiting, Blake.
Oh,
he's
better Darth Vader impersonation.
yeah, he's out of munis, but no way he's gonna land this AT grenade anyway.
Man, you sounded a bit. You sounded very Anakin-y. In other words, very bitchy when you impersonated Lando. So.
Well, because
Yeah.
I think in that line, I think he was like upset.
Oh,
'cause,
okay,
you know,
right. Yeah.
Yeah, probably was
As
too
you
high
would be,
pitched for Lando.
As you would be.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Anyway, the hunt for Red October has a spin-off called this Panzer IV.
See, I really want. I'm still a big fan of the young Lando played by Donald Glover.
Oh, dude, how good would that be?
That would be so good. I'd be all over that. It'd be 99 times of good. So. Damage engine on the
49
Sherman.
times.
Fought that beast.
Well, really good defense here from Fredbrik. Talisman made a couple of attempts there to try and finish off that Panzer IV, but Cons couldn't do it. The Sherman couldn't do it. Talisman just couldn't find the angle. So Fredbrik keeping his squads mobile, and his squads now Panzer Fusiliers. He's going pretty ham on these. And why not? There really is no reason to build Volks over these guys. They scale better. They have better damage with the G43s. They have the AT grenades, like the Volks do. They cost 25 munitions.
Exactly, yeah.
Wow.
I was about to mention that. Yeah, the anti-tank grenades, not Fausts, do cost less munitions. So even more reason not to build your Volks Grenadiers.
That being said, the Fausts probably have more range.
Yeah.
Because I know the Fausts have more range than the conscript AT grenades. I don't know if that's the same as the Fusiliers. Also, of course, 6-man squads less likely to get wiped.
I'm pretty sure, judging from the way kind of Company of Heroes 2 is done, that it works the same as one of the rifle grenades, like one of the AT grenades of either conscripts or riflemen or something like that. So it's kind of how they do things.
Don't they do things with asymmetric design?
I mean, it just looks like asymmetric design. So.
Okay, Sherman's here, looking for this P4. And the convoy of the Zis gun, the AT guns, Zis and the Raketen.
She's still getting work done on Veteran C1, but is providing some nice fire support. Maintaining the VP control here for Fredbrik. It's on 357 compared to the 232 from Talisman. That's interesting. I thought it was going to be another combat engineer squad here. He's still committing more fuel, so obviously wanting to save up for another Sherman, maybe before he goes combat engineers for Talisman. I mean, really depends on how he wants to play this one. If he's looking for a big engagement, these Shermans are going to take a battering, and one combat engineer squad we've seen before just simply isn't enough when it comes to repairs.
Well, I think you're forgetting about
Oh
something.
God, conscript repair.
Yeah.
Man, it's been so long since I played that. I was like, as I was saying that, I saw all the conscript squads. I'm like, man, I hope this commander doesn't have conscript repair. That's gonna look like a real idiot. And I look down. All right, it does. Lend-Lease has conscript repair.
Yeah,
which is
very,
cool.
very useful. It's part of why the Sherman spam is quite strong. But
It's been so long since we've had commander choices that have conscript repair in them. So,
yeah. But the con repair it isn't as fast as engineers.
Didn't we work out it was about 2 conscripts to 1 combat engineer squad or something?
Yeah,
or?
I think it's not quite that bad, but it's
It's close to.
yeah, not that far off of it. But still, considering that you'll have multiple squads of conscripts on the field, it does certainly help. It's probably better than the crew repair, the other doctrine ability, because it's free.
Yeah,
You're
definitely.
not paying for it.
It's like you have to build the conscripts because I mean you're going to build conscripts. That's a thing you get in most Soviet games.
Yeah, it is now, yeah. Unless you're going to go penals. So all 3 G43 upgrades have been applied.
Nice.
And now,
So-
what is the next fuel investment here for Fredbrik?
I mean, he's saving up. Maybe it is a Panther. I doubt he wants to go Jagdtiger. Honestly, even with double AT gun support, it's just, yeah, against Sherman's not a great idea.
Okay, this is going to be a decrewed, it's an MG34, and that one's stolen. So that's a nice pickup.
This gun isn't in position for a barrage, so it's actually going to walk out of here. We'll run out on the retreat. Drop another model. It's low, but it is going to survive here.
Oh, this could be a wipe here. Pinto's very good on... Oh, yeah, wow, lucky shot. Jeez. That was the most vetted squad as well. That was vet 4.
One of the Origi-Digi Panzer Fusilier squads.
The OG.
Rocket shot comes down. Nice movement from Talisman, bringing the supporting Sherman to make sure the Panzer IV doesn't go for a dive. He didn't see that at all on the map, but it's just predicting. Because it's got a damaged engine, there was such a high chance the Panzer IV might go for something.
Well, the Raketin still could get... Oh, wow, well, bit of a wrap around there with the Raketin. He's going to miss 2 shots that he could have got if he actually set up earlier. There will be a nade coming through, though, from those Fusiliers.
Still within Raketin range. Raketin getting another shot off here. There's going to be nothing stopping the Raketin. It's going to try and repair through it. It's not enough. Combat engineers don't get there in time. They probably would have been better off trying to decrew the Raketin. Sherman actually goes down. Nicely played, Fredbrik.
Well, very heroic Sherman saves his buddy. And that's actually pretty important too, because... Pretty important for Fredbrik, because now 2 Shermans, much less scary than 3 Shermans, especially as Fredbrik. Still has the double AT guns, he still has his Vet 2 Panzer IV, and he's going to have another tank to add to his arsenal, probably a Panther at this stage.
Yeah.
Unless he wants to go for a King Tiger.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be the choice at this point. As long as he's keeping the Sherman count down, he can go for whatever he likes. Currently fine sitting on his unit composition. A little bit low on pop cap with the Panzer Fusilier drop, but overall not in a bad spot.
Yeah, 3 MGs, but they get harder to rely on once you start getting tanks. The Panzer IV can just easily force off those MGs. Even the Panther will be able to as well.
Losing some pretty considerable map control here.
And I like how...
He's going up a lot of manpower here. He's up to 800 manpower now. Is he going for a Jagdtiger? No, he spends it. There we go, Panther. Alright, cool.
Okay, so... I like how there's been aggressive sweeping, but this P4's getting caught with its rear armor exposed, and that's very important too, because those Shermans, they don't have amazing penetration versus the armor skirts on the P4.
I'd like to see another Panzer Fusilier squad from Fredbrik. Might as well keep his count up. Doesn't have to go for the G43s. Want to make them combat effective. He just needs more capping pressure at this stage. I'm pretty sure Vet 3 cons should still... will beat Vet 0 Panzer Fusiliers without G43s pretty handily.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if they'll beat Vet 0 Panzer Fusiliers with G43s though.
That, yeah, it's probably a little bit of an even fight.
Yeah.
Probably favoring the cons though. The Vet 3 is pretty generous for them.
So going to be another ISG, not a bad choice. Currently 2 Dushkas, the stolen MG34 in the hands of Talisman. This could be a nice way to dislodge Talisman's current position behind sandbags and heavy cover.
So it's going to be another ISG, and I'm not sure how I feel about that, because it feels like the main problem here for Fredbrik is actually VPs. He has this better core of tanks, vetted Panzer IV, the Panther. He's got these Fusiliers. He has a good late game, especially with these support weapons that he has, but what he is at most at risk to is just getting stalled out on VPs. And given that there's 4 vetted squads of cons, there's 3 HMGs, and of course the Shermans can cap with their vet ability, definitely better capping power for Talisman.
Maybe he's just building it because he knows he's about to lose an ISG for leaving it out in the open. It's also possible. The preemptive Archon Hawks. Still no fear going to be already sieging the Tushka in this top house. It really takes a beating. Do you think we've ever seen the top house go down, be destroyed in any of our casts
unless
ever?
it's been demoed, but I'm pretty sure that house could survive a demo.
Yeah, I'm personally pretty sure that we haven't ever seen that.
I was about to say this is the moment where you consider going for an Su-85, but it was the moment where Talisman built a 3rd Sherman. Just means you have to get good flanks. The good flanks are hard to get when your opponent has 2 AT guns.
This stage, it's not really going to catch the P4 or the Panther out of position. Because he has so much map control, and that's definitely not a bad thing. It's just like, oh no, I've got so much map control, I can't catch my enemy's tanks out of position. But you don't really need to at this stage. He's in a good spot, sitting on 3 VPs. Panzer Fusiliers don't quite find the cap on the southern VP. Smart of Fredbrik not to stick around and try and look for the cap and risk losing that Vet 2 squad. It needs more capping pressure. Wouldn't have been worth it, just throw it away.
You know what the worst feeling in the universe is? Is this Sherman. Is when you're a pixel away from getting Vet 1 and you can't cap this VP. It's just the worst feeling. He wants a squad to show up so he can focus them down and get Vet 1.
Maybe he just takes a sneaky shot at this conscript squad walking up.
You get Vet from friendly fire, right?
It wasn't me.
Right?
Yeah.
You don't.
Ketten stalling things out here. Talisman splitting up his troops. They are all over the place. MGs are split. Even capping squads are split. There's really nothing for the ISGs to fire at. And also importantly, there are no squads really on the front lines. He's pulling back. He's holding kind of rear territory, holding the back of the VPs, the back of the fuel point. That means the ISGs aren't going to get vision on the squads and start auto acquiring them. It means Fredbrik's going to have to actually micro them and look for barrages, trying to guess the position of these MGs.
This is really good timing here. The Panther has a damaged engine. This P4 is getting caught. 2 Shermans on the flank. He hits the Vet 3 and he already blew his combat blitz. Oh man, that was a huge mistake from Fredbrik. I like how he popped the blitz and he went up north because he wanted to try and save his Fusilier squad because it was definitely at risk of getting chased down by that Sherman, but he didn't back out. He stayed there out in the open, and the Panther was forced away. His AT guns were out of position. That is a massive swing because 3 Shermans, especially with a bit of veterancy, they can definitely deal with that Panther.
Oh, sure. Yeah, pretty huge misplay as far as misplays go. Fredbrik will be able to rebuild that Panzer IV fairly shortly. Don't think double Panther is going to work here. He has the population cap for it, but
Might not have time to get it if he
he
loses
might
his
not have
fuel
time
point.
to. Probably have to be the Panzer IV. Currently on 142 VPs compared to the 232 of Talisman. Has enough for another M4C Sherman team as well.
Heavy machine gun team.
What's the population cap on those bad boys at the moment?
Shermans,
Yeah,
they're 14.
14, right.
Oh,
Talisman's
16 for a Panther.
yeah,
Yeah, OKW tanks. 12 for a Panzer IV.
yeah.
14 for a Sherman.
Yep. What?
it's basically just a case of the... I was gonna say the Eastern Front Army factions getting gimped on their pop cap, but the Jackson's 14 pop cap, which is a joke. And yeah, pop cap value is definitely standardizing. I think actually the worst offender, the Stug, is 8 pop cap.
Yeah, it's nuts.
It's crazy. Yeah, I think
the Stug's ridiculous. Like, such a good unit.
I think pop cap is one of those things that people don't really think about. People kind of don't realize it. It's just there in the background, but when you actually look at it, it actually is pretty crazy. Like the Pershing, I think is like 18 pop cap, or even less than that. It's the Pershing is insane in terms of its pop cap.
A lot of times it can be the difference between getting that additional medium tank at the end of your build and not being able to get it without dropping a squad. So
yeah, or like it's a free repairing squad, which makes a big difference.
Yeah, all that. Yeah,
especially when you factor in the repair times are much slower on, say, Soviets or Wehrmacht, but then they're very fast with OKW. Yeah, I feel like pop cap should basically be tied to resource cost, or at least fuel cost. Or at least use that as the basis. You shouldn't have tanks that cost less fuel and yet cost more pop cap.
So have a look at these conscripts. How are they going? That's 3 squads repairing.
Oh yeah.
It's up further north, so...
Oh yes, it's pretty bad, isn't it?
Not amazing.
And they don't get extra repair speed when they vet up as well.
Full 18 conscripts are swarming all over a Sherman.
Repairing at half the speed of a Stern Pioneer squad. Feels bad, man.
Sherman efficiency. They don't have steel to work with though, so...
Yeah.
So it makes it a bit more difficult.
So it's the 4th Sherman. I know some people probably argue that they're call-ins, so therefore they should cost more. I don't really agree with that though.
No.
I think, if call-ins are a problem, it's call-ins are a problem.
Yeah.
It's not. Yeah. You don't kind of band-aid the broken mechanic with other weird
by increasing
fixes.
Population count.
Yeah. And then some people would also argue that Tigers should be, heavy tanks should be very cheap pop cap wise because they're limited to only 1 squad.
Catton's work as intended.
Yeah.
It got decrewed in 1 shot, and then the gun was destroyed in 1 shot by the other Sherman. And here we go.
Okay, leading the charge with the wounded Sherman. Not a good decision. Talisman should probably back away from this one. But then again, the other Sherman wrapping around the side, and that's going to be a nice flank with the Vet 2 Sherman. Exactly where he wants to be. This gun trying to reface here, and he's not able to keep up. The other Sherman around the side, so fully committing to this one. So far, only 1 Sherman's gone down, but the bounces are pretty good so far from this Panther. It's backing away into the flaks. No AT guns in position to cover this one, and there we go. Rear armor exposed. That Panther will go down.
Very nice play, and actually going to micro out the damaged engine. Sherman up the north. He's going to run past the Panzer headquarters, so he might go down with the rear armor. It's possible. Bouncing a few shots at the moment, but it's going to keep taking damage. The other one actually gets microed out of there. Goes behind a hedge. That was incredibly well executed by Talisman.
Yeah, very nice. And he threw that 1 Sherman away. But the reason why it works so well is because the Panther actually backed up north with its rear armor exposed. So a lot of shots came through there with their rear armor. Whereas if he backed eastwards along here, then he would have had a much better time and just couldn't keep up with the Zis gun. But I suppose the reason why Talisman pulled the trigger there is because he knew that Raketin was wiped. So there was only 1 Zis gun, and he was able to circumvent that pretty effectively. So yeah, very, very well played by Talisman. I liked how well he pulled that off.
That was awesome. And I was thinking, I don't know, it seemed like a weird timing to go for it. It seems as though his mindset just switched, and Talisman decided this is the time for the all-in. This is where I'm going to go for it.
Yeah,
and he had the Shermans in position, and he went for it, and it was extremely well executed. If you're wondering how to pull off the kind of medium tank dive, and that's pretty much exactly how you do it.
He waited until he sniped that Raketin.
Yeah, the Raketin went down, so that's AT support missing. Panther knew where it was. Yeah, very, very well executed. And having the foresight as well to drive out your wounded Shermans when they can get out is awesome. And leaving them to die when they do die, as we saw there, one Sherman going down. There's no way that was getting out of there. It was within AT gun range, so it just kept chasing the Panther. Whereas the other one, they start peeling off as they get extremely low. And it looks like the Panther's going to be going down. Talisman has the mindset, so he just peels them off, goes back to base into a safe position through an area that he's already kind of gone over as well. So less likelihood that there's going to be mines there, given he's just driven over there.
Yeah, and it worked so well because he didn't just send 4 Shermans from the front in one big blob. He actually flanked 2 of them, and that works a lot better because not only do you get rear armor, but also you're able to block in the tank so it can't pass through you. You prevent your tanks from just getting caught on each other, because a lot of times what happens is they get caught, you know, on terrain, on say like an AT gun, on each other. So it can be a bit of a nightmare trying to maneuver them around when they're all so close together, especially then if you get tagged by a mine and 2 of them lose their engine, then that's not fun.
That should spell game over. 4 Shermans on the field now for Talisman. His pop cap is well rounded. Fredbrik is going to build another Panther here. That's pretty much all. 87 VPs left. No longer bleeding. Talisman down on 206, but I don't see a situation where all 4 of these Shermans are going to go down to a single Panther.
No, they're both Vet 3, and you know what that means, Blake? It's the PPSH Shermans.
Oh no!
Be afraid. Be very afraid. This rate of fire is just so crazy. They double stack the rate of fire bonus at Vet 2 and 3. That being said, though, he may get one of these.
Yeah, it's probably a worthwhile dive as well. Unless he takes one of them out. I mean, Fredbrik's screwed anyway, so this is a good dive. And he takes one of them out and then just backs away. If he can get out of there right now, should just reverse move along the road. He's trying to avoid getting blocked off. Takes another shot, stopping the rear armor from being taken. This is very well micro thus far.
He missed that shot, but another Sherman coming around the north here, but very good positioning so far. And backing the way into this Vet 3 Zis gun. Oh, there it goes down. Lucky pens there. That was a good play by Fredbrik. Didn't quite pay off. And that's the kind of risk you got to take when when it's a 1v4.
Yeah.
As far as tank counts, you got to try and just go for those baller moves.
Yeah, if you have the opportunity to go for one of the Shermans, that was definitely a good move by Fredbrik, even though he lost the Panther, and that will be GG.
GG. Very well played by Talisman. He had fantastic unit preservation. Didn't lose any of these conscripts. Just a engineer squad and a couple of support weapons. Whereas Fredbrik kept losing his infantry, and he was versing those Shermans, which are definitely very good at wiping squads. But GG, well played. Good decision making, and I love to see that.
Yeah. It's our favorite type of gameplay. Those winning by skill, not by luck. Good decision making is the best. So thank you for joining us. It's been a pleasure.